It's Nikki. Welcome to September. If you're watching this at a later date, please be reassured that these principles can work any day that you choose. It just so happens I'm recording this on the 1st of September. It's a really good date in my mind. My daughter has gone back to nursery today. My son will go back to school next week. And I'm going to take you a little bit behind the scenes as to what's going on in my life, what's been happening, and give you lots of questions, lots of juicy information that you can use, that you can take, that you can play with, that you can experiment with. So I'm going to break this down into two parts, two videos, two podcasts, and you can digest it as and how you wish. So I wanted to begin with saying that today is September the 1st, and often around this time there is this conversation of back to school energy, which I love. However, if you don't know what to do with that back to school energy, it can maybe last a day, and then by day 3 you're left going, I'm really tired though, or I don't know what to do with it. And we see this in January, new year, new me. I've heard it all before. I've done it all before myself. And by mid-January, I've lost my flow, or I set off too fast and I just can't sustain it. Or I want to do so many things that I'm not making progress with any of them. And so this is what I want to say as an introduction before we start. If today, whatever this day is for you, is that sense of, right, okay, let's do this. I'm ready. I'm going to do it imperfectly. I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but now it's time to get my skates on. Please, whatever happens, take into consideration what is going on for you right now in your life, in your health, physical, mental, your capacity, your time, your money, etc. Because if you don't look at the conditions that you're beginning with, it's going to be really hard to make progress because you have to manage your own expectations. I can give you a really tangible physical example of this. If you say that you're going to start marathon training and you've never run before, you're going to need longer in order to do that marathon training if you want to do it healthily and look after yourself during the process than if somebody runs half marathons, triathlons really regularly. You have to consider your conditions before you begin. And sometimes that means giving yourself a huge amount of grace and kindness to work through at your own speed. There is no point saying, right, I've got to do this back to school energy. I've dropped the kids off. It's September the 1st. Let's go. If you're absolutely exhausted. Sometimes we have capacity in life to say, right, that's what I'm going for. That's what I'm doing. And you're doing the equivalent of jumping in head first, doing a dive, getting your head and your shoulders under the water immediately. And sometimes you might have to bum squeak in. Sometimes you might have to sit on the side, dip your toe in, go slowly but surely. Either way is absolutely fine. I would much rather that you look after yourself and enjoy the process of it rather than do something so radical that you put yourself off, that you deem it a complete disaster and you don't move forward doing the things you actually want to do. So the first point that I want to make is asking you a question of where are you? Where are you right now? What do you need? And inviting yourself to look at both sides of that coin, essentially. And I think so many of us, especially women, we have the most enormous gift to please, to put a smile on our face, to say that everything's fine and like, yeah, I'm really excited to do this. And actually, if we look at the whole situation of what's going on holistically, it's going to give us much more clues. So I want to say first and foremost that you can begin whatever it is that you want to do imperfectly. I say this to clients all of the time. I am imperfect. There is nothing about me that is perfect. And I don't expect my clients to be perfect either, which gives us both an element of grace. But I think this sense of having all your ducks in a row, making sure that everything is all complete and aligned and ready, and it's the perfect day, and the moon is doing the right thing, and it's a Monday or whatever it might be, it's too much pressure. So why not start the bum squeak today, essentially? Start imperfectly. Start just saying to yourself, I'm doing this thing. I'm beginning today, and it's all going to be okay. I know that we all grew up with that sort of diet culture of like, right, you've got to get rid of everything you've ever known from your cupboards. And sometimes people need to do that cold turkey because of various things. But for most of us, we can have a much more gentler approach. I also want to say that we are multifaceted, emotional human beings. And of course, you know this. We are all many things. We have many roles in our lives. We are experiencing many things. But I think it's a really good reminder to aid our progress with this. So my daughter went up to the next class today at nursery, and she'll go to school this time next year. I mean, I just can't believe it. Time has really flown with her. And I was talking to her about it today, and she's 3 and she loves a chat. And she was saying that she was excited to see her friends because some of her friends had been abroad all summer, and people have been doing various things, and we'd been away. But I could tell that she was nervous as well. I could tell that she was a little bit more clingy than normal. She was a bit afraid of the unknown. And I get that. And so I want to remind you once again that if you are embarking on this next chapter, if you are knowing that now is your time and right, let's do this thing, you can be feeling all of the things at the same time. You can be feeling excited, but yet nervous. You can be feeling really driven, yet tired. You can be determined and emotional. And bringing your whole self to the table is brilliant. It's brilliant because you're really feeling all of the feels. And I know that in my work, yes, I'm determined. Yes, I'm ambitious, but I'm also very empathetic. I'm emotional. I am moved so often. I get it. I get it. That's how I can say it in a nutshell. I understand the work that it takes to make change, to do the things, because I've done it and I'm doing it myself every single day. Yeah. So where am I at? Let me just give you a bit of context with this, because I think a tangible example is really good to always have. And I think this is moving into my second point. So what's been going on and learnings? And I would love you to explore this, and you can go back as far as you want. You might want to go over the holidays or the last month or the last quarter, but really looking at what's been happening for you. So even though I am ready with that back to school energy, let's go, I am tired. I am tired, and I am ready for some systems. I'm ready for some routine. I'm ready for some ease and flow and groove and childcare and self-care and having a moment to think. I'm ready for it all. And I am not, and I know this, I am not somebody who can always be in that kind of holiday mode. And I know that I like a bit of structure to my life. And I've really loved the holidays, mostly. There's always little ears about. I've loved it, mostly. We've had some really quality time together. We had our first broad holiday as a 4. We've eaten some really good food. We've gone to different places that we haven't been to. We've seen people. But then also there's been a lot of quite stretchy times as well, where we've been together all of the time and trying to work and trying to multitask and juggle and do all of that. And that in itself is quite exhausting. And so I've really been in a conversation with myself about what does success look and feel like to me. And this is a really good reflection exercise, because before you go on to the next chapter, the next thing, I think it's really good to see where you're up to. And one of the things that has been coming up for me over the holidays is that success is big and it's really small as well. It's really the simple things as well as the big things. So when we arrived at our villa in Spain, that felt like a big, whoa, we are doing it. This has happened. This is really exciting. Just seen our estate agent. What do you want? Oh no, he's just on a mission. So he, yeah, he's on a mission. So the success, like the Spanish situation, but then there's been so much small success of we tried to eat different things. We've really enjoyed watching our tomatoes grow in our garden. We harvested is quite a strong word, some spuds. We grew our first potatoes. That was really exciting. We've been painting. We've bought loads of new things for our house. We moved Luna into a new room and she's so delighted with that. I got another lamp for her yesterday for her room because she's already noticing the lightness change. And she's so delighted with this lamp, even though we've had this lamp for years and it was just in a cupboard from our old house. She's so happy with it and just wants to fiddle with it the whole time. Anyway, one thing that I've learned with success and the time and things that have gone on really quickly is that I need to be in the moment and I need to really recognize all of the things. And that pressure, I guess, of writing a diary each and every day is maybe too much, of saying, right, okay, I'm going to now write in my journal for half an hour each night. But I suddenly thought I loved making scrapbooks as a kid. I absolutely loved it. And so yesterday when I gave blood, I got 2 stickers. One was I gave blood today and one was I gave my first donation today. And I thought, wouldn't that be great to start putting stuff in a visual record? So getting photos from our holidays, so I could have the year of 22 in a scrapbook or something like that, and just take screenshots. I'm always taking screenshots and pictures on my phone and things like that. What if I actually printed them out? What if I put them in somewhere? And then of course I overcomplicated the system completely and I didn't need to. But it was just a really fun reminder, I could just stick those things in. I could take pictures. And so I didn't just get to the end of the year and gone, okay, I vaguely remembered that summer holiday and we went to Spain and we moved house, but I don't really remember anything else. So I'm going to take pictures of things that I cook. I'm going to take pictures of the kids on the train or the tube or going somewhere and have that visual representation, because I would love to go back and look at those. So that's one thing that I'm going to do for sure.